rescue. That's my I got two rescues actually. This is a mud dog. Oh man, and this guy gets another Chewy. This one's chicken Chewy, a chicken Chewy, and this guy. I'm not gonna even show you. It's oh my god, that guy right there. He's already muddied me up. I guess I just gotta wash this shirt too. Hey, what do we got here? Graphics. Aloha. Want to say it's Monday, the 22nd of September. Uncle Martin's going live again, and I have I got a thumbnail. Got a thumbnail for you. It's gonna be. I got to decide on what I'm gonna call it. It's when my eye turned orange. Now, it's usually both eyes that would turn orange. Usually a light orange. It's called jaundice or hepatitis, and that was not my case. Yeah, it was not that, because my eye, the sclera, that's the I don't need these right now. I guess the sun's just about coming down, but not quite yet. So we'll do this. It's where the white part of your eye, the sclera. It's a sclera, and that's what is white normally. Now some people have red or pink. That would be pink eye, I guess. That can be healed too. But what I had was a little different. I had a shot to my eye that was oh boy, it was a combination of 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 1, 2, 3. Three things happen within less than 3 minutes to my eye. That I guess I'll start with that. Okay, so I don't know how many people sleep with a individual that is restless. I had a girlfriend that was very restless sleeper. So what I did one morning, I just before this happened, I was sleeping. My eyes were closed, but something told me to open my eyes, and I did. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw a fist come down and smack me in my eye. Smacked me in my eye, and it was my girlfriend. She was a restless sleeper. Hey, incorrect. I just ate mac cheese out of my hip pocket. Well, I don't know about if it's incorrect, sir, but this happened to me. And Augustine, hello there. And I won't even go there with this joker. So I opened my eye just before it happened. I woke up to seeing a fist hit my eye. And then my girlfriend said, well, we were having kind of an argument the night before. And so I don't know if it was on purpose or not. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that it wasn't on purpose. And what she did was she punched me in the eye and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Looks like the mosquitoes are trying to get me too here. So I said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And then, while I had my head this way, she's coming over to kiss me. And as I turned my head this way, her nose, she had a runny nose, by the way, and her nose comes in and hits me in the eye, the same eye that she just punched me in. And then she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then she said, well, let's get Bandit. Because this is back in the day in the 80s where Smokey and the Bandit, anybody remember that movie, Smokey and the Bandit? She had two dogs. Smokey was like a small teacup poodle, and the other one was a Shih Tzu that loved me. So she says, we'll get Bandit to come here, and she's saying, well, actually, she got out of bed and said, Bandit, come on in. So you hear the pitter-patter running through the house. It's Bandit. Hey, YTT and Danny, and let's see, YTTG Gaming, hey there. And Danny, crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So now Bandit is jumping up on the bed. And I don't know, I was laying back on the pillow and I had my eyes closed because I've already been punched by her. Her runny nose got into my eye. And now, as I feel these pitter-patters on the bed, I open my eye and the paw of Bandit gets me in the eye. So within less than 3 minutes, I had been punched, nose kissed in my eye with a runny nose of an individual. God only knows. And then a paw. So all within 3 minutes. My eye got a test of a workout. Okay. Nova Brown. I'm supporting small continental creatures. Nova, you're supporting small animals? That's fantastic. So this didn't stop me from going to work that day. It was an afternoon job. Actually, it was at the Phoenix Dog Track. Doesn't exist anymore. I'll have more on them because, all right. I got more on them. So as I'm walking by, now they had 50, 150, about 200 pounds of Diablo charcoal. Always getting started before the shift we went on to, we cooked a lot of steaks. And Willie, who was the chef, had put about the 200 pounds of Diablo. I'm going to get that mosquito, probably more. Biting the heck out of my left hand right now. Oh, this is a test. I don't know how long I can go. I do not like feeding mosquitoes. In fact, I will not go to sleep at night if I hear a mosquito. And these guys are biting the back of my hand. But I will still go on with this story. It's going to be a quick one, though. So as I go by the Diablo charcoal, anybody knows what that is? It's pretty good stuff, actually, if you're going to do a barbecue. So as I hear all this crickle, crackle, I'm going by and I'm looking, hey, Willie, how you doing? And all of a sudden, crack, this spark from the charcoal hits me in the eye. So I didn't even get, it really got in my eye. I had to go wash it out and everything. So by the next day, when I opened my eyes, my one eye it was turning orange. And orange usually means it's jaundice or, again, hepatitis. And I didn't have that, I know, because, my dad had hepatitis, and so did my brother, Dave. He had hepatitis. And I know because when we were in the hospital, his eyes were orange, but not this orange that I had. Like, if you had an orange, you can eat an orange. That's how orange my eye, the sclera, the white part. It should be white, but mine is now oranger than an orange by the second day. So I said, you know what, I should probably go see a doctor. And my girlfriend says, you don't like doctors, you don't like hospitals. I said, yeah, but my eye feels like there's a lot of pressure behind it, and I don't. So I went to my family doctor, and hey, Desert Amore, hello, how's Uncle Martin? I'm doing very well right now, by God's grace. So what I'm talking about is anybody's come in late, the thumbnail's going to be, I'm still working on that. I'm just trying to tell a story of when my eye, my sclera, the white part, turned oranger than an orange. And so I went with my family doctor. And he says, hey, Uncle Mark, where you been? Because the last time I saw him was I was like 15. Got him. Yep. See that? That right there? I got him. In fact, right there, little dude. Got that. I got one of them. There's half a dozen on the back of my hand right now. Mosquitoes. I can't stand mosquitoes. Okay. Okay. I got another one. Yeah, they like Uncle Martin. I got really sweet blood. Um, so I went 1, 2, 3. It was, uh, the second day I went to the doctor, and he said, "Oh, uh, where have you been?" I said, "Well, I've been feeling pretty good, so I guess I don't have to see you." I said, "Hey, Doc, what about my eye? It's really orange. Well, what do you think?" He says, "Oh no, that's way beyond me. You got to go to a specialist." A specialist? He says, "Yep, you got to go to a specialist because I can't do anything. I'm just a regular practitioner. We need a specialist to look at your eye." So I go to a specialist, and it took another day. So I'm on my third day of a very bright orange, and my head, it feels like it's going to explode. My eye is so, I just, you don't know about. I'm not going to say pain. I'm going to say a sensation, because you don't get pain until you agree that it is pain. But I was saying, I got a sensation here, and I got to get rid of it. So I go to this specialist the third day, and he says to me, after I sat in his chair, he said, "Oh, your eye has a pressure of 52." I said, 52? That doesn't sound positive. He says, "No, you were supposed to be here." Well, he says, "How long has this been going on?" I said, "This is about the third day." He says, "Third day? I don't know if I can save it, son." And I said, Doc, do the best you can." It always puts doctors in a better, like the other doctors that worked on me that I mentioned. I just say, "Hey, Doc, do the best you can," and it always seems to work out. So that's what I told him. Danny Orange, question mark, Danny Orange. Danny, the orange was because I got punched in the eye. My girlfriend tried to kiss me. I turned back, and she got me in the eye with her nose, runny little nose. And then Bandit, the little Shih Tzu, comes up on the bed, puts his dirty little paws that he was outside on my eye. And then when I went to work, a Diablo spark of fire went into my eye. So I had like 4 things that hit me all within less than a day. All right. So my eye turned orange. Yes, 52. Danny, you want to know what 52 means? 52 pressure. 52 pressure of the eye. You know what that means? It means it's too high. Technically, it's supposed to be dirt dog. Get out of here. Oh man, he just buried one of these. I'm gonna give him one more though. So I love that dog, but he did bury it. You didn't see all the dirt and dust that just came in my face. So I'm trying to answer your question, Danny, and whoever else is asking. 52 pressure. How important is that? Well, your eye normally has 9 to 13 pressure. 9 to 13 pressure. Your eye has pressure. They measure it. And that's what this doctor did. He measured my eye pressure. He says, 52. And I said, "Yeah, it doesn't sound too positive, does it?" He says, "No." He says, "Son, you might lose your eye." Again, I said, "Doc, just do the best you can." So he brought man, that little slob is digging that thing down too. He's not going to get any more now. I'm tired of breathing dirt. So he brought it down. Took 2 years, maybe 2.5. He gave me medication. They love medication, but I'm saying I had workman's comp at that time because that fireball that hit my eye, I got it at work. And so I had workman's comp to take care of all the bills that I had to go see that doctor. Well, first it was five times a day for about the first 2 weeks. They wanted to keep that pressure down, and then they called. When I was looking through my eye, there was these like little black spots in there, and I said, "Hey doc, I'm starting to see these black spots." He says, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing to worry about. It's called floaties. They call them floaties." And he laughed. And the hygienist or the his assistants, they laughed at their thinking, "Hey, it's not funny. I'm seeing these black spots around." He says, "Yeah, that happens. That's when things break up in your eye. They're called floaties. Well, we got some more medication for that. We'll break those up for you." I said, "Hey, that's mighty kind of you." So I've been taking. I was taking. I mean, this is how high the pressure was. For over 2 years, I could not rub my eyes. That particular eye, I could not rub it. I mean, that's how much pressure that I had and sensitivity to my eye. So, after 2.5 years on their medication, all these eye drops that they were giving me, it was bringing it down. He says, "We got to do it slowly. We can't do it real fast or something happens." So what happens? You could lose your eyesight. Well, let's take our time then. So I would take these different drops. It was like bringing me down, like from one, two, three, four, about four or five drops, different kinds of drops, different colored drops, until finally I got down to the clear drops, let's say, and I had to use those 3 times a day. And then after about 2.5 years seeing this guy. And by the way, every time I went in there, because they put you in these like little goggle things, and you're looking through these goggle things, and then they're telling you the eye pressure. At a certain point, I think after the first year, I could sit down there before they even put it on, and I said, "Hey, doc," because every time you sit down, they tell you what the eye pressure was. I said, "Hey, doc, you know what? I think it's like 30, between 30 and 31." And he looked and he says, "That's amazing. How'd you know that?" I said, "No, I'm very intuitive." And then I was able to tell the pressure of my eye before I even put my little face in these little goggle things that they tell you what the pressure of your eye is. Is that amazing? Amazing? Yeah. Hey, Escalo, sir. Escalo. Ecolo, sir. Hey, how you doing? I think you're a new face. And the rest of you is hello too, that I haven't said hi to. By the way, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. Uncle Martin will join your club, even if you don't have one, but you have a handle, like, I don't know if handles, or CB would be a handle, but I'm just saying handle. Whatever you are on YouTube or whatever. I'll join your club if you join my club. That's the way I feel. Even if you don't have a video, I want you to get one though, okay? Hey, dude, can you speak Arabic? Arabic? Arabic. Not in this lifetime. But I know I was Arab. Many lifetimes. It's only because I had a reading that told me that I was a Arabic sage, Indian sage, and a kahuna, which is a master of Hawaiian culture. I was a lot of things. Not this lifetime, of course, but in my readings they were. Dude, say heba, heavy. Is that right? Heavy? Well, I don't know about heavy. Look at this. How heavy are you? Heavy. He's not heavy. He's not heavy. He's my brother. I'm sorry. It just reminds me of a song. It's an American song. He ain't heavy. Heavy ain't heavy. He's my brother. All right. Well, see, this is a different one. He's not getting it. He's not. Wait, let's see this guy. Do you think he's eating these or he's burying them? I know he's burying them because he's trotting off and not eating them. We will follow him someday. We'll find out some of his places. Um, hey, Dode, you say I look like a British man. Really? When I have my berets on at work, I have a beret that I wear. They don't allow cowboy hats. I know. Arizona. I'm in Arizona. They don't allow cowboy hats. What kind of place is this place? But they allow a beret, like Ireland, or yeah, the Ireland type caps. Yeah, they call berets. Um, where were we going? So, so the doctor's saying we're getting the eye pressure down for you, but we're doing the best we can. Yeah, that's all you can do, doc. So finally, when I get down to, this is after 2.5 years seeing this. I'm not going to say joker, but he says you just can't bring it down immediately because things happen to your eye if you have eye pressure 52, like I did. India, Northeast Volg. Where are you from? Hey, India, Northeast Volg. I'm in Arizona. All you guys from India, by the way. I've joined a lot of your clubs, all right? And I haven't heard really much from you joining my club. But if you join my club, I'll join yours, all right? Hey, Dode, you're from Libya. Fantastic. Join Uncle Martin's club, and I'll join yours, all right? I can't say any more for that. You guys out there, and especially you people that have not touched the phone or the computer, whatever you touch in there. I can't see who's out there, and I'd like to know more of who's out there, where you're from. I said that yesterday when I gave the shout out to all the countries that have been watching Uncle Martin. I can't do any more than that, except, hey guys, hope you're all doing well. I want to get rid of the story because, yep, look at that. See that? I don't know if you saw that. That's another mosquito that bit the dust. And they're biting the heck out of my back of my hand, and I can't hit it because I'll shake everything up. Okay, so we're finally at the last stage of him giving me eye drops. He says, after this, there's no more other eye drops other than these. I said, what do you mean there's no other eye drops except these? He says, well, because you're going to have to take, because this is after 2.5 years seeing this guy, he's saying, there's nothing more I can do for you except give you these eye drops that you will have to take in your eye 3 times a day for the rest of your life. I said, Doc, that's it. I said, Doc, what about, and I always, when I hear negativity, when I hear a limitation, I always go the other direction. And I said, even when I was living out in the Indian spiritual hot springs with all those people, when they come up with something negative, I said, hey, yeah, but what about this? What about this idea? And then they said, yeah, I guess so. But he didn't. This is my idea that I gave. India Northeast Vogue. Hallucinations. Well, hallucinations would be something you might be eating or drinking. And even when I was by the shaman medicine man, I wasn't hallucinating. I saw everything like it was. But that I told you. India Northeast Bog. I want you to go a couple back where it says the Yaqui, shaman, medicine man, that guy. When I was up in the cave with him, and what happened, and he left me alone. Which you never do. After you give somebody all the goodies that he gave me, and all his entourage gave me, you don't give that person that many goodies, and then say, oh, It's time for us to go. Well, just sure, something happened in the cave for him to say that. But you'd have to go look up Yaqui Shaman Medicine Man. And you'll know what I'm talking about. No, maybe not. So now the doctor says, I got this for you, these drops, the rest of your life, 3 times a day. And that's when I said, Doc, come on, Doc. Hey, Doc, I got a question for you. What about if I did meditation? I meditated. I started using colors. This is way beyond his. This is way beyond this guy. Meditation got him, but let alone me thinking in different colors. See, Pythagoras healed people by different colors, all right? Pythagoras, I'm going to have something on him. Pythagoras. So he said, no, that's not going to help you. I said, hey, Doc, what about this? So I threw another one at him. I said, what happens if I would just close my eyes and I did around the clock, to where I started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I worked that way, and I did that 3 times, and then I do it the reversal of 3 times. Wouldn't I strengthen my eye? I said, son, if it was only that easy. And then he goes into a lot of stuff, like he tells me about the 7 muscles. The 7 muscles. No. See this guy? You see that guy? You see that guy right there? He's a slob. Okay. I got one more. Can you see that face? Can you see this face? He loves these little guys. He loves them more than life itself. I don't know if he's eating them or burying them. Yeah, I think he is. I think he is burying them. But I have no more, boy. Hey, he's actually eating them. Well, he's at least chewing it. I'm gonna put this on to see if. Hey, by the way, I said yesterday somebody buried my glasses. They did. It was him. He got my glasses and messed them all up. But didn't really scratch them too bad. But I found that they were sticking up out of the dirt. Sticking out of the dirt, and hey, there we go. Here we are. Okay, okay, India Northeast. You agree with that? Yes, you do. Retracted. I don't know. You tracted something? You retracted something? You said, ooh, man, I missed that mosquito. Ooh, you got me sidetracked. I'm getting bit by probably about a half a dozen mosquitoes right now, but I'm taking it very well. I can't hit the back of my hand because it'll throw things off, and I'm just going to deal with when they're biting me on the front of my hand, and they will die. I know, I don't like to kill things, but when they take something from me, it's the end of their life. So he says, after I say go around he's telling me about the 7 muscles behind your eyes. The 7 muscles. I'm not going to go into those, but he says, this is the way it works. When you have these muscles behind your eye and you're 52 pressure, it stretch the muscles, It stretched the muscles so much. You stretch them so much. There's nothing that'll ever have them strength. They're done. You have to take these drops the rest of your life. I said, Doc, I didn't want to. It was just too limiting for me personally, all right? And I didn't agree. I just said, all right. He says, here's a prescription for the next, what did he say, next month. And after that's over, you come back to me and I'll write another prescription for you. So what I did was, I guess I went, 1 month. I used them like he said, for 3 times a day for a whole month. Because every time he says, when you know about your eye pressure, and when that goes up, you take the drop, but it's going to be 3 times a day. And he was kind of correct on that. But then I was thinking, I was doing the meditation thing with different colors. I was using green, blue, white. I'll go into that another time. Green is very healing. Healing is the color of green, by the way. It's also the furthest color you can see by your eyes. I can go into all that stuff later, but I did that for about a month, and then I said, this is ridiculous. There's got to be a way of me not being on this for the rest of my life. I just was not happy with that. So the next month, I was weaning myself off them. Because I tried taking myself off them for 24 hours, and my eye pressure, I think, it was at least at 35 or 40. I know that. And I said, ooh, that's not positive. So I had to keep it down to the between 9 and 13 eye pressure. And because, as I said before, I got so positive with sitting in that stupid chair, looking through these things and saying, oh, your eye pressure is 35 today. Oh, it's 22 today. Oh, it's 19 today. And then before they were doing it, I was telling them my pressure before they even could give me anything. And they were amazed that I was able to do this. And I said, nah, it's no problem. I have this feeling about things. So I got about the first month. Then the second month, I started going down to like 2 drops a day. And then it worked out to where I was being able to get all these prescriptions. Because at a certain point, I was done with this guy. I just needed enough to where I think I accumulated like a whole arsenal of these eye drops. And what happened was, I literally was able to get down to 1 drop in a 24-hour period, which was amazing. And then finally, I wasn't taking any drops at all because I had weaned myself off of this slowly. Because it took 2.5 years for them to let me go. Because they just couldn't. Now it got ants on me. I wonder why. I think it's somebody next to me here. He's dug into an ant pile. That's really great. Okay, I'm going to make this a little closer, shorter for y'all. It's been about half hour anyway, and the sun's coming down. My point on this whole little story, which is going to be what's going to be? What is the thumbnail, guys? What is the thumbnail? It's going to be the eye pressure 52. That is the thumbnail. Eye pressure 52 is the thumbnail today. God, man. And maybe it should be just eaten alive by mosquitoes. I did get that one too. Yeah, they're just like, once they hone in on you and you got sweet blood, mosquitoes don't let you go. Sort of like people. Once they get a hold of you, if you're like a cash cow, forget about it. They'll be with you until you don't have any cash. Notice how many friends you have when you have money, and then when you don't have any, hard to find these same people. Okay. So it'll be eye pressure 52 is the thumbnail. Anybody out there? I can hardly see you now because the sun's hitting me on my face now. Give me a thumbs up or down. Give me anything you got with eye injuries that you had. That's what I was going to say. How did I really... My eye pressure now is totally normal right now. And got him. Sorry for the little jerking there, but I've killed about 4 mosquitoes right now just talking to you. Not talking about all the ones behind me, behind my hand, having a good time. So, anybody have an eye situation? Because that's what I was going to say. I've, to this day, I've put cold pressed castor oil around my eyes and in them because castor oil is a healing on all different levels, as I've talked about before, but I will bring up another episode on cold pressed castor oil, which if you look back, I've got tons of stories, ripping my shoulder, blowing out my knee, ankles, Broken arm, fixing it myself with Comfrey tea. Comfrey is a bone knitter. I'm just brought up since I was 10. Physician heal thyself. That's the way I am. By God's grace, I'm not on any medication. All right. I was at one time with high blood pressure, but I was able to. You lose a few pounds, you bring that down, and you watch the food you eat. A lot of sugar, and you can rid yourself of high blood pressure. All right. And I guess I'll go into that someday too. Um, we all do things that bring maladies onto ourselves, and with the processed foods that we have, to oh gosh, the way we think, what we believe. Um, Doctors, they're doing the best they can, but they read a book, and most of them are by the book. Every doctor I've ever had is always by the book. Very seldom, see, because when you're by the book, there's a law of the book, but there is a law, but then there's a spiritual law. Now I'll go into that another time too. So that I'm saying castor oil, cold pressed castor oil, which by the way, it's been said by Edgar Casey and quite a few other people, castor oil can hold back glaucoma and irritable eye situations. Cold pressed castor oil. And I also use extra virgin coconut oil. I've used that forever because it's really good for your hair. It's good for bacteria. I use it for, yeah. I use, well, I mix chamomile. Chamomile with extra virgin coconut oil. You keep it out in the sun. They say for 30 days. But I didn't bring the jar out with me. I'll show you someday. The jar that I have is organic chamomile that I've kept out in the sun for 6 months. And I've shooken it all up because Arizona's pretty hot, and the sun going through it, through the mason jar, breaks down the chamomile. And chamomile has so many properties to it, but with chamomile and the extra virgin coconut oil, I use it as a deodorant, underarm deodorant. And you say, what? What are you crazy? Underarm deodorant? What are you doing? Yeah. Do you know what makes your underarms smell? Do you know what makes you stinky? It's bacteria. And do you know what extra virgin extra virgin coconut oil does? It kills bacteria. All right. I love to experiment, and when I hear these things, I've used it for years now. I don't use deodorant. Do you ever? Did you ever read what is on a deodorant bottle, or you know, those little sticker things? You, you, deodorant bars, for crying out loud. You can't even pronounce that stuff. And by the way, when you're using it underneath your arms, um, actually Jackie, the one that punched me in the eye, well, not on purpose, she used it so much under her arms that you could see it on her clothes. Um, and not only that, but the nymph nodes under your arm, I don't think it does it very. It's not very helpful for the lymph nodes under your arm, is what I'm saying. So I've used extra virgin coconut oil and chamomile for 5 or 6 years now, maybe 7, and I don't, and I have no odor coming from my underarms because it kills the bacteria. That's the only way you get the smell from under your arms is bacteria, and coconut oil kills bacteria. So if you have some like wooden spoons and stuff, I suggest after you wash them, douse them down with, because it has cracks. All wood has cracks. Your bowls, and I eat out of a lot of wooden bowls, and I also eat with wood. I like wood because it has a vibration to it that is much better than metal. Okay, Synthil Kumar. Good evening, Synthil Kumar. I believe you're from India, if I'm not mistaken. welcome again. And if it's not you, Cynthia, join the club. Tell a friend. Everyone out there, please tell Uncle Martin to somebody. On some level, they will appreciate you down the road. Or they'll say, no, they won't say that. They'll say thank you. I'm, uh, I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to go with that. They'll be very grateful for you turning them on to Uncle Martin, because I have over 600 videos, and I know somebody out there will like at least one of them, maybe more. But you have to watch at least a little bit to see what's going on. Um, it's just what I'm trying to say here is a lot of doctors, once they get you, they're going to keep you on medication, and that was my point. When you ask your doctor, hey doc, when are you going to lower my dosage of pills you're giving me? And you look at their face and they'll say, lowering them. Well, I had in mind something different, like maybe giving you a different one, or giving you more, or the opposite of what you're asking. And then when they say you have to be on it the rest of your life, boy, that should be a red flag. You should be saying, maybe I should check out another doctor, maybe another doctor, maybe another doctor, till you get a doctor that says, hey, maybe you don't need to be this high in the pills that you're taking. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there. I'll probably be banned for it because that's what makes the world go around. Pills, or buying pills, which is money. It makes a lot of money for everybody. Except it might be destroying some organs in your body, which it tends to do. It tends to happen that way. Why? Because certain medications eventually tear up that organ that you're getting fixed, and then they change the medication so it doesn't do that much more harm. But at a certain point, they're going to say, well, there's nothing more we can do for you, and that's usually when it means if you take any more of that medication, you can sue them. I've got totally so many stories on that one that they'll let you go because there's nothing we can do for you. And that's when you should have been checking out another doctor before you even, all right, I got another one. Ooh, see that? See that right there? You see that right there? That's me. That's a part of me. Well, there's some mosquito there, but there's some red too. I'm pretty quick. So I am getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. I was just trying to tell you, but ask you. Always question. And if you're not getting any answer that your heart is saying, sounds positive. It's time to move on to a next. There's thousands of mosquitoes. No, there's thousands of doctors and mosquitoes. Both could be. I don't want to say bloodsuckers, but they'll just keep you. They'll keep you in the dark on a lot of things, and that's what I'm saying. The doctors that I'm talking about that follow the oath of do no harm are the ones that I want you to find. The ones that don't care, people over profit, we want your money, we'll keep you alive longer, but you gotta do what we say. That's always disturbed me because doctors should have the oath of do no harm, as all of us actually do, or should have. Whenever we look at a person, be less judgmental and do no harm. And all that you can think, all you say, all you physically, all your actions, have it orientate around doing no harm, and you will grow spiritually leaps and bounds. That's what it comes down to. So guys, We're into 45 right now, and I am totally getting eaten by these mosquitoes. I normally put repellent on. I said, oh, I don't need it today. Yes, I did. So whenever that little voice says do something, you listen to it. And my little voice says, put on mosquito repellent. And I said, nah, I don't need it. And I've been bitten. I'm still getting bitten tons by these mosquitoes. So I will listen more to my heart, as you should too. So tomorrow is Tuesday. Today's Monday, the 22nd. I'll do the best I can to be out here about 5-ish or so. Can't promise anything, but if I miss out, I want you to at least look at another episode you haven't seen. The Yaqui Shaman Medicine Man would be a good one. Maybe the Radiation Recall of the Shrimp by Walmart. Excellent one to check out if you haven't heard about the radiation recall of the shrimp and fish. And the thyroid one is pretty positive. Thyroid right under your Adam's apple. It takes all the major organs. It's in charge of all the major organs, the thyroid, and how radiation does affect your thyroid. I'm trying to put some things out there for you to take a peek in case I don't show up tomorrow. But I'll do my best. So everybody today is watching Uncle Martin. Please thumbs up or down, and join the club. And I will join your club too, if you have one. A lot of you don't even have a handle or anything like that. So I'm appreciative that you join, but just start something. It's really easy. Get your name out there. I think there's somebody called Fat Cat. I guess he does have one, doesn't he? He did join. Fat Cat from yesterday. Fat Cat joined. He wouldn't tell me where he's from. That's okay. Okay, until we see each other again, be well. God victory. And may you pass every test victoriously. Take care.